Good Game. I'm Hex.
And I'm Bajo.
Tonight we band together to build a castle and assassinate a king.
In a world where pants are optional.
I shot him in the butt.
Plus Batman, we put one of the producers of Arkham Knight on the spot.
Batman himself does not have any information on the Arkham Knight other than a few sketchy details that Oracle has passed on.
But first, can you name the game for this week?
Alright, Bajo, it's now time to enter the Labyrinth of Death in Ziggurat. Ziggurat is a kind of FPS roguelike. It's short, sharp bursts of magical action in a randomly generated labyrinth of rooms. The game came out on PC last year and has recently come to console, so we thought we'd check it out.
You play a fledgling sorcerer with hopes to become an all-powerful wizard. Before you can join the ranks of wizardry, however, you must survive a daring rite of passage. Survive the Ziggurat.
My first run of this game, I died almost instantly, I think. And then it threw me back to the menu and I was like, what? This is gonna get grindy really quickly. But the levels are short and simple. And there is a steady peppering of abilities and upgrades as you attempt and re-attempt this gauntlet that stops you from going completely insane.
Yeah, find your way through a few short rooms, locate a portal key, and then you're faced with a boss fight. Survive that, and there's a new level and new beasts to take on, but make no mistake, if you fail, you have to start all over again.
Most rooms you encounter will throw a series of pesky minions at you, some more infuriating than others. I have to say there is a particular kind of shame in death by a possessed magical carrot.
It's those flying demon masks that drive me crazy, Hex. Go away!
Ah, yes, they are so annoying. This is very much an always be on the move kind of shooter, as most enemies fire projectiles at you.
Your standard weapon is a wand, but depending on which route you take through the maze, you can come across other weapons to use too. Different staves, alchemical guns, and so on, each equipped with an alternate damage attack that comes at a greater cost to your mana pool.
And here's the kicker, the only way to unlock new weapons is by dying. It's a way to kind of sweeten the deal, because death isn't in vain, it just means new toys for you to hunt down in the labyrinth. That said, a lot of these weapons felt kind of samey to me.
Yeah, the weapons and spells you find certainly feel heftier than your starting wand, but there's not a lot of variation, I agree. There are some environmental objects you can make use of against minions also, like barrels filled with chemical nastiness, but beyond that, it's mostly just strafe and shoot.
Gaining XP and knowledge gems will help you gain levels and add new perks or abilities. These are random, but you can usually choose between a couple of them to customize your maze run. It's another way the game strives to make each attempt unique.
Yeah, it's an interesting approach because it is frustrating having to restart over and over and over again, but with each level being random and different perks each time, it did end up feeling like somewhat a different experience.
I respect the appeal of the challenge of this game, but so much of it just feels like one giant troll. The controls are awkward and the platforming seems almost purposefully clunky. Everything about Ziggurat is relentless. Ultimately, I got tired of this pretty quickly.
Yeah, me too, and I suppose that's the nature of roguelikes, but that's not to say some people won't get a kick out of this. I did quite like the look of the game. For me, it harkens back to the 90s with its cartoon fantasy vibe. But strangely, it also gave me quite a bit of motion sickness, kind of like a 90s shooter. I don't think I'll be going back to this. Despite all of its attempts to feel customizable and unique, I just don't think there's enough variety to make it worthwhile attempting this maze over and over again.
Yeah, I agree. The bosses that guard the portals to the next level offer up pretty lackluster fights too, I thought. I just don't see myself going back to this either. What are you giving it?
I'm giving it 2 stars.
I'm gonna give it 1.5.
Here's what's making headlines. The BBC is being sued by Take-Two Interactive over its upcoming drama based on Rockstar Games. The suit alleges that the drama named Game Changer infringes on both the Grand Theft Auto and Rockstar Games trademarks. Game Changer plans to focus on the creation of the GTA series and the controversy it often found itself in, specifically with regards to infamous anti-video game attorney Jack Thompson. Daniel Radcliffe has signed on to play Rockstar co-creator Sam Houser, with Bill Paxton cast as Jack Thompson. Take-Two has stated that despite attempts to resolve its issues directly with the BBC, no meaningful resolution was made.
Just ignore us.
Yes, don't mind us. Pretend we're not here.
Dying Light developer Techland has put development on its upcoming first-person fantasy game Hellraid on hold. The studio said that following internal analysis, the game in its current form was not meeting their expectations. As a result, the current game is being scrapped and the concept is being taken back to the drawing board. Meanwhile, development resources will be consolidated onto expanding the Dying Light franchise. And that's all for this week.
Hex, it's no secret that I'm a huge Batman fan.
Oh, I've seen your cosplay.
Yes. Well, in preparation for Arkham Knight, we put Dax Ginn from Rocksteady Studios in the hot seat to see what secrets we could prize out of him. Dax Ginn, thank you for joining us again on Good Game.
My pleasure, mate. Great to be here.
I'm glad you're here because we get to talk about Batman for ages.
All day long. Come on.
Arkham Knight,
Yes.
the third game from you guys.
Yeah.
Tell us, what is the Arkham Knight's deal?
As in the Arkham Knight, the character?
Yeah.
Well, gamers have as much knowledge about the game world as Batman does. So we don't want players to feel like they are smarter than Batman. So we haven't really said very much about the Arkham Knight because Batman himself does not have any information on the Arkham Knight other than a few sketchy details that Oracle has passed on. So that's all I'm going to say.
So coy.
For your own good. For your own good.
No more Batman.
What's it like building a new character in this Batman world?
Terrifying, and I can only speak on behalf of the guys in the studio whose job it was to design and build the Arkham Knight, because it's not an opportunity you get very often in life. And as a studio, we're all a bit stunned, like, are we really doing... We've designed a Batmobile, right? That was amazing. What an opportunity that was. And now to design a character that becomes part of Batman's lore and the Arkhamverse.
I'm going to show the Arkham Knight what happens when he messes with my city.
We've got this narrative set up where Scarecrow is invading Gotham City, but Scarecrow doesn't have an invasion force. We needed a military commander to do that, and none of the other supervillains sort of fit that role. You know, you couldn't imagine Penguin doing it, or Two-Face, or anyone else. So we knew from a gameplay perspective, if we wanted to create this sort of military battle mode style to the Batmobile, and that was kind of the acorn of the idea to really militarize the Batmobile, we needed something, an opposing force to that. So the tanks and the drones and the infantry, those ideas started to come together, and then we needed a dude commanding all of that, and that's where the Arkham Knight came from.
Keep your guns trained up.
How involved is the Batmobile in all of the missions and combat?
Well, at the start of the conceptual process for the development of the game, the Batmobile was decision number one, and then we had to really make some pretty firm rules about it. So is this a driving game or is this still a Batman game? Of course it's still a Batman game, so what role does the Batmobile have? And so our philosophy towards that was the Batmobile has to feel like an extension of Batman. It can't be a bolt-on driving mode. It needs to feel like man and machine are fused as one. There is a nice balance there between Batman, the Batmobile, but in every sense you feel like the Batman because you think Batmobile, you think Batman. Like these two iconic characters are so related to one another.
I've noticed a few extra little things in the combat, like a few holds, and of course the whole Nightwing Robin thing. Can you talk about what you've put new into the combat, and especially the Nightwing and Robin thing?
We're so precious about the free flow combat system. We've been working on it for so long that when we come to add things to it, we really grill that new idea to make sure it's not going to erode or degrade the mechanics of dual free flow that works so well. So adding in a dual play component that allows Batman to team up with Robin or Catwoman or Nightwing, and the user can switch control between them, like that took a lot of iteration to make sure that this felt like a natural progression of the combat system and not an additional mode that was just sort of clumsily sitting on the side. And more than anything, it really reinforces the narrative relationship of these characters. And then the relationship with Catwoman, you know, that's always that very grey line between, is she an ally, is she a friend, has she got her own hidden agenda? So having dual play with Catwoman it's awesome.
You must consider yourself a bit of a Batman fan.
Yes.
Yeah, and so you know a lot about Batman by working on these games for years. Yeah, I imagine.
I know a lot about the Arkhamverse.
About the Arkhamverse.
I'm scared about what's going to come next.
Well, I think we need to call in Goose just to test that out properly.
No.
Yes,
No.
If that's the case, we'd like to
Oh, don't do this.
challenge you to a game of Bajo's Batman Brain Off, where we test you both about everything to do with everyone's favourite caped crusader. All right, well, let's get started. We have a quick buzzer test. Bajo and Dax. Good, they sound the exact same. That's not going to make it. It's the exact same one. All right. Question number 1.
I regret this immediately.
Harley Quinn first appeared in the comics or the Batman animated series? Bajo.
Batman animated series.
Correct. 1 point to Bajo.
Yeah, it was great. It set up her whole costume and her whole style. It was all informed from that 90s series, which they actually
You wrote
did
these
on
questions,
black.
didn't you? You wrote these questions.
Just the answer would be fine.
They animated it on black instead of white, actually, on black, and that was why it's so dark. And I'll stop.
Extra point to Bajo.
Ah, 2 points.
Question number 2. What are the first names of Bruce Wayne's parents? Dax.
Thomas and Martha.
Correct.
Come on!
To Dax. Question number 3. Which actor has the honour of playing the role of Batman the longest? Dax.
I'm going to say Kevin Conroy.
Correct again.
25 big years.
All right, you were worried about this.
I know.
That's correct.
Stressing.
Next question. According to Batman lore, how did Harvey Dent get his injury, turning him into the villain Two-Face? Bajo.
He fell in a vat of acid.
Incorrect.
Oh no!
Dax, over to you.
There's different threads on this, isn't there? I mean,
Yes,
there's
but according to Batman
Batman lore,
lore,
okay.
Proper law.
proper lore here. No. He gets one guess.
I'm going to pass.
Have stab in the dark. That wasn't how it happened. But have a guess.
A gardening accident.
Incorrect. Bajo, one more.
Joker's poison flower?
No,
This is
unfortunately.
a random guess.
He had acid thrown in his face during the court trial.
Oh, of course.
Now we
we
know.
knew that.
Now
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah.
Turn out the way.
Gardening accident.
All right,
What
getting
was I
close to the
thinking?
end.
Gardening? How would that even happen? Who's gardening with acid? Oh, these weeds that just pour acid on them.
All right, getting close to the end. Robin is Batman's most important ally. What is the name of the second Robin after Dick Grayson? Bajo?
Tim.
You bought yourself time. You just jumped in early
You did.
and bought yourself
Incorrect.
time.
Dax?
What?
is the name of the second Robin?
Drake? I thought is that right?
No, you've had your guess. After Dick Grayson, the second Robin?
Jason
Dax?
Todd.
It is Jason Todd. Mr. Freeze is a classic Batman villain. What is the name of his wife? Dax.
Oh my god, it was in my brain and then it just disappeared. I thought I was going to say Victor. That's his name.
Incorrect.
That's not his name.
Bajo?
Norma.
Incorrect.
Dora.
Incorrect.
Dorma.
Dax?
Norma. I said that.
I've so got this.
You're close.
Nora.
Correct.
Oh,
Yes.
Now, running away with it, Dax.
Ah.
The Batmobile is Batman's most iconic vehicle. But what was the first Bat vehicle to appear in the comics?
Ooh.
Bajo.
Batwing?
Incorrect.
I know. No, you should go.
Dax?
I'm going to say Batcycle.
Incorrect. Bajo. You were close.
Batboat?
No, a boat is not close to a Batwing. Water.
I was close. Bat hang glider.
Incorrect.
Bat helicopter.
No,
Bat chopper.
Bat copter.
The copter.
I'm going to give it to Bajo. It was the Bat Gyro, which later evolved into the Bat Plane, and it appeared in 1939 in the
Evolved?
original.
We are awful.
I believe so.
We are awful at this.
Last question, and the scores could be tied if someone was paying attention to the scores. Finally, what year did Batman first appear?
39.
Correct, Dax. And I think that takes you to the end, and you're the winner of this round and the whole game. Congratulations.
Congratulations. That was so embarrassing.
I think you
I
never
get
had a
to
chance,
keep the
Bajo.
chicken
Sorry.
wing.
Yo, you take
Yeah?
that home with you.
That is your prize.
Boom.
My prize.
They'll never let it through customs.
Reign of Kings is a very weird game, but that's precisely why we like it.
Clean my feet.
He speaks to us like he knows us.
Greetings.
And you, post my sword.
You would like a sword? Is that what you say? Just accent.
He's being very creepy.
You have offended your last night.
Do you have spears? You need a spear.
It is done.
Reign of Kings is a survival and crafting game brought to us by developer Codehatch. It's been in early access for a few months now.
This game is a lot like the survivalist game Rust, except more accessible and more feature-rich. Players form guilds,
Play for us.
hunt and gather,
To get crafting, dude. Do you want to get some flax with me?
Yeah, I need
Let's go on a
flax.
flax mission.
Flax mission.
build homes together,
Oh man, I just want this warlodge to go away so much.
and try to fend off rival guilds and self-proclaimed bandits. It's a reasonably sized world and resources grow in predictable locations, but what really keeps this game interesting is building your own base.
Yes, block by block, you can build your very own castle, and there are some incredible creations out there.
Bowl's castle is so good. It's all stone. Oh, this castle's beautiful.
Wow, it's quite spectacular.
Crafting is quite deep. There's weapons, furniture, storage, better crafting tools, and beds for respawning.
Can I put it here? Is that a good spot?
Yeah. If you could line it up. I mean,
And you need those beds too, because if you log out, your character remains in-game. A persistent sleeping beauty in the world, totally defenseless.
Who is asleep here?
No, that's pretty bad. That's Andy. He was collecting wood all night. I do really want to kill him.
Me too. We could build wood around him, so when he awakes, he's trapped.
So peaceful, Hex.
I know, and it makes it that much harder to decide whether or not to attack them and steal all of their loot.
And this is one of the many reasons why good house design is important. It should be your main objective. Our first castle was glorious,
Wow. We have a little factory going in here.
but we made some core design mistakes, which meant that it just kept getting raided again and again.
Wonder how we got in our house.
just hacked through it. They're going through all of our chests.
That's depressing.
Yeah. Oh well.
I spent ages this morning, like, repairing all the walls that were hacked.
We almost quit, didn't we?
Oh, it's so devastating when you log back in and everyone is dead and all of your painstakingly harvested materials are gone.
Yeah, it's devastating. But we rebuilt. A stronger, smaller castle kept us and our gear safe.
This is coming along. This place looks good. Move the G on my right over one.
But the left or the right if you're looking at it?
It's like one to the left.
And most importantly, we made a nearly impenetrable stash room. I care so much about our gear now, Hex, I don't even want to show people where it is. I don't want to show that design.
That's okay, Bajo. We have a mighty guild to defend it.
Bring out your flute, I'm confused.
Well, kind of. If you build a stash room well enough, then it can only be breached with trebuchets, which are very expensive to make.
Whoa.
The building in general is just so fun in this game, isn't it? It's painless.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The building mechanics just make sense, and it's never fiddly.
And once you've got your guild's crest down, only members from your guild can actually build on the base or enter through doors. But you can also set up a second level of security for any door or chest, just for those you consider family.
Someone didn't shut the door to the safe room.
Oh, me, my bad.
It's such a great idea, Bajo. I mean, you might meet someone who acts like they want to help you, but you don't want to give them access to your main stash just yet until you can really trust them.
Yeah, you really can't trust strangers, including us. You really can't trust us either.
He has pledged his allegiance to the king, but he is to sleep. Finish him in his sleep.
The fun of building bases in this game helps you push past the more wonky mechanics, such as the horrendous AI and animations, and the more than awkward combat.
The trailer for this game was so epic, Bajo. It made it look more like Chivalry or War of the Roses meets Minecraft. In reality, it's more like this.
I'm being dragged off.
On top of lag and mysterious hitboxes, don't expect a clean fight.
Oh, lag is real.
Yeah.
But it's not that big a deal because we didn't end up fighting that much, surprisingly. Most player interactions end up being more about diplomacy, really.
I'm just exploring.
Let's talk about this. Yeah, we're a peaceful solution.
Yeah, and I think it's that medieval setting that really gets people into the spirit of the game and gets them role-playing.
Yeah.
I'm a poor little orphan.
Do you want me to give you a sweet release of death?
No.
And it only takes one person talking in a funny voice before everyone jumps in and starts playing along.
Good day.
Alright, kid. That is how I roleplay.
Do you need a bandage, little one? Sir Giggles.
Yes, sir.
Here is your award. A steak for you, sir.
It's beautiful, thank you.
Little one, would you like a steak?
And this also leads to so many stories and some creepy, dark moments.
Yeah, especially as there are so many capture and torture devices in the game.
There's a spear in my bum.
No, what are you doing to him?
Goose.
No.
3 spears is too much.
Alright. There you go. You still got the
Oh no,
midget.
they're stuck in his bum.
I especially liked the rope hex.
Yes, I know.
Rope's so good. It lets you capture other players and drag them about.
Shall we go back to camp?
Sounds good. What? Hey, no. Damn it.
You can then deposit them in a cell or gallows, or hold them in stocks, or just dangle them off a roof.
How are you getting up there?
Maybe because I'm taller than you, Pete.
I am.
Oh no. Are we going to the ocean, Pierce?
Just let me build the
Are we going
house.
to the ocean?
And the ragdoll is often hilarious, especially when it wigs out. This all does sound quite dark, but the game is so silly, it's actually really fun being captured.
Is this your bow in the thing? Ah!
Yeah, that's mine, sorry.
Yes, and that leads us to one of the most unique and interesting game mechanics we've encountered in a long time. The orifice slot.
Equipment?
Sharp rock, I see.
Yeah.
Storing a sharpened stone in your butt is the only way to escape a cage or get out of a rope.
Ah, yes, champagne game design, Hex. Never before did I think I'd have to utter the words, hey guys, how do I equip a stone in my butt? But there you go, it happened.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit gross at first, but it comes in so handy that I did it all the time.
Yeah, don't leave home without one.
And I'm out.
Another major feature worth mentioning is the role of king. Off in the distance is the ever-looming castle of the king, watching over the kingdom and separated from the land by a majestic sword bridge.
Long live the king.
Sit upon the throne and you get the king's crown and sword.
Wait for me to become king.
I see.
Then we can rule.
How long does it take for you to become king?
Like 2 minutes, maybe.
2 minutes to become king is pretty good. And there is someone here.
Well, I mean, that's pretty good. 2 minutes is not bad.
2 minutes, not bad.
But the best part is when you're king, you can tax people. You get a percentage of what anyone gathers in the kingdom. What a fantastic idea, Hex.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and I can't think of a game that's done this before. And if a king sets the tax too high, then that then encourages people to try and take the throne for themselves.
No, my king.
Personally, Hex, when I was king, I like to go out and meet the people of the kingdom and take a more direct approach to taxing.
It is tax time.
I've got donations.
Search the bag, my servants. You may take the sword, and here is some steak.
Thank you, sir.
Here is steak.
Thank you, king.
It's a fun risk-reward structure for being king. I mean, sure, you get free mats and a big crown and a sword, but you're never safe.
King is rightfully ours! He's hitting me good. I'm almost dead. I'm running. I'm dead! No!
This isn't a AAA game, but it's a pleasant world to be in, and the weather effects really set the mood. There is some stuttering here and there as you walk about while it loads other players' creations, and you also can't actually close the game without having to force it to shut down in Windows, plus a few tiny bugs here and there that can remove gear. Being still in development, server wipes also seem common, which is always disheartening.
Yes, absolutely. Comes with the territory, I guess. Hex, what I like most about this game are the interactions you have with your neighbors, and specifically on our server, one such creature who called himself King Bol.
Praise King Bol.
Praise Bol. I met Bol within 30 minutes of sitting down to play this game. Bol appeared playing a flute in a field.
Hello there. Hello there, little flute player.
Do you like my tune?
I like it so much. Let us dance together.
Follow me, friend.
I will follow you wherever you take me.
I then learned the lore of Bol, and him and his servant lured me into his incredible castle.
The music.
I am Bol. There is the tower.
Oh, may I come in?
Of course. Here is where we praise the sun.
What is upstairs?
But things took a dark turn.
Oh.
Come with me.
Where are we going?
Here is your new home.
In this cage? Oh, I am scared. Only the music. Okay.
Come into the cage.
Up into the cage. The music, it calms me.
Do not be afraid.
I was trapped in a cage with a singing dwarf.
I be a happy dwarf in a home. Paul,
I'm scared.
I plead. Let me up, Paul.
Let me out.
I
I'm
will
scared.
fetch the gallows.
No.
The dwarf is first.
No.
No!
No, run, dwarf. Tell people of our adventures. Tell people of our adventures. Be brave.
And then Bol killed his minion before me to test out his latest contraption.
No.
Goodbye.
And things just got worse from this point. I got dragged to the roof.
No.
And they tried to push me off, but...
You are very fat.
I am very fat.
And so there was only one option left for Bol.
I cannot move you with my puny arms.
Not like this.
There is only one course of action.
This is futile.
This is Bol.
No. No.
And what really blew my mind about this whole sequence was it was just in that first half hour of playing this game.
Yeah, and Bol just kept coming back into our lives, didn't he?
Absolutely, he proved quite the ally. He helped negotiate some issues we were having with bandits.
Of 1,000 stone and your large axe.
And I'll leave unharmed, yes?
Of course.
And we thanked Bol by offering him a sacrifice of the actual king of the land at the time, who we'd managed to drag back to our base and imprison in a cage. Things got pretty crazy, Hex.
Yeah, that is without a doubt one of the weirdest things I've seen in a video game.
I especially liked after it was all over, Bol built a church outside our house so we could praise him anytime we wanted to. I really dig this game, Hex. I do feel like I'm playing with Lego again as a kid. There's just such freedom to build incredible looking castles, and the role-playing is so much fun, but most of all, it's the strangeness of Reign of Kings that appeals to me. There's no guarantee this game will ever reach a polished, finished state, but I actually think it's worth the price of admission right now.
Yeah, I agree. This game was a real surprise. Although I do hope they add female character models soon. I mean, I did my best to make a lady with the game's surprisingly detailed character creator, but the 5 o'clock shadow kind of gave it away.
And I see my beard.
You've done a pretty good job.
I think they've nailed the most important feature though, the interface. It just works, which is uncommon for early access games like this. It allows all of the other features and mechanics to shine, even if they are a bit rough around the edges. I agree, I think this is well worth a play.
Praise Bol.
Praise Bol.
Paul is king.
Bol is king.
Pledge allegiance, don't I? Paul is king.
Bol is king.
Yes, very good.
Great job today, Bajo. Good job. Making my way downtown. If I could just feel. Hello? How's it going?
Oh, you left your mouse pad upstairs.
Oh, thank you so much. I thought you were the doll.
The doll? You've been cursed by the doll as well?
Yes, how can I break the curse of the doll?
There is only one way to break the curse. You must approach the doll maker.
The maker of dolls?
The maker of... He makes dolls. That's his job. He's a doll maker. That's what he does by trade, yeah. You must approach the doll maker and ask him if he can name the game.
For this week?
For this week. Yeah, for this week's game.
It was the side-scrolling action game Blackthorn, originally released for the Super Nintendo and PC in 1994. Equipped with your trusty pump-action shotgun, you platformed your way through the planet of Tool to save your people and reclaim your throne, mostly by shooting things in the face.
Next week on Good Game, we explore the aftermath of the Wizard Wars in Magicka 2.
Until next time, may all your games be good ones. Hex out.
Bajo out. Hex has some news. It's not good news.
What is it?
The server got wiped and our castle.
No!
House is gone.
Oh my gosh! All of my instruments!
Yeah, they're all gone.
No, my flutes and horns!
All my flower shirts are gone.
That's hours of our life.
We can rebuild.